How do you feel about the kickoff? You know, where it's at currently? Like, because it's changed so much over the last 5, 10 years, but specifically right now, do you think it's the sweet spot where it's married to being a little bit safer, but at the same time can still be exciting?
Um, I kind of like the old way,
Just
you
old
know,
school, kick it down there,
just
let the
old
dudes run.
school.
Yeah.
I would back the kicker up. You want to
Mhm.
kick it in bounds? Back the kicker up. The kickers are getting good. Make
Yeah.
them kick it from the 10-yard line then. I don't care. Back it up. But yeah, give us the I signed up for this. I understand what it is, and I understand,
Okay.
as player health and player safety and all that. I'm not overlooking that. But if you're gonna preach player health and player safety, make sure guys have mouthpieces in. I see guys running around with their mouthpieces flopping all the
Definitely.
time and nobody says anything. Priest and me in your time, that used to be a
That's right.
penalty. What about
Mhm.
making them wear knee pads or making sure the pants at least act like it's going over the knee? Nowadays,
Yeah,
that ain't the case. So don't
it's true.
talk to me about player safety and
Mhm.
saying that you're making these rules for player safety when actually you're making it to not get lawsuits.
Mhm.
Lawsuits are
The
legislating the
game.
game right now, but that's something nobody really wants to talk about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I'd rather go back to the old way. Let me avoid my guys the way I can avoid them. If you want the kickoffs to happen every time, back the kicker up. But no, man, let's go down there and get active, man.
Love it. That's where I'm at
Oh,
too, Priest. I don't know about you, but I want that excitement back, man. I want those Dante Halls back. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Oh
buddy.
man, that dude was
Yeah, he was.
awesome, man. Awesome. I had the privilege of tackling him or trying to tackle him toward the end of his career, man. That dude was a human
Now, Mike,
joystick,
did
I
he catch you
swear.
in
Yeah.
space, or did you get him where he was kinda, in a confined in a box, or did you catch him in space?
So look, Priest, I'm glad you asked that, bro. He was in a
'Cause it
box. He had to be in a box. Ain't no damn way I'm catching that man in
that's
space. You
right.
know what I'm saying? He actually won't even looking at me. He was trying to get away from two other guys, and I just ran through everybody and hit him. It was glorious. It was glorious. But I'm glad his attention won't on me because he would have probably made me
Yeah,
miss.
yeah. Oh, man. Human
You
joystick.
got a freeze frame. You got a freeze frame of that hit on your wall,
No,
Mike?
I
You got.
don't, but I need to find it. That's
Yeah.
a good one. I probably do need to find
All
that.
right, so we kind of glossed over a little bit your time at Penn State because, look, the college experience is important in a number of ways. Not only on the
Yeah.
field but off the field too, right? Because there's a lot going on in life at that time. You know, you're finding out who you are. You're kind of putting a cap on your coming of age, all that stuff. So where were you
Mhm.
mentally when you wound up at Penn State? What was that environment like for you, and what was your biggest takeaway from college?
So, man, I ain't gonna lie. When I was in high school, all I wanted to do was play for the Miami Hurricanes, bro. Man,
Mm,
they went to a game in some fatigues, man. Irv and all them boys. That's all I wanted to do. I ain't gonna even lie to you. I had a Miami Hurricane starter jacket, all that, man. I was into it. Um, and they recruited me to play DB, man. And I ain't like that. I wanted to play quarterback. I remember Butch Davis was the head coach. They were recruiting me a little bit, and then he took the Cleveland Browns job.
he did,
And Larry
yes.
Coker came in, and Larry Coker came to my high school to try to recruit me and stuff like that. And it's crazy. I remember it like it was yesterday. He said, "Man, we got this freshman that'll be coming in with you. We can have you as safety. It'll be you. It'll be you. This kid named Sean Taylor. We got another guy by the name of Ed Reed. He'll be a senior." I was like, I know who Ed Reed is, this and the third. But he's telling me all these guys who are now like, Hall of Famers and greats. God rest Sean Taylor's soul. But he's like, man, you can play with those guys. And I'm like, man, but I want to play quarterback. And obviously, fast forward 2 years later, now I'm a freshman in college, and the first game of the season was against the Miami Hurricanes, man. It was that 2001 year where some people say that was the greatest college football team ever. We were the closest to them that year. We lost 33-8. 33-8. We were the closest to them in the
Closest.
regular season. I don't I don't think Ken Dorsey touched the ground once, except when he was stretching. You know what I'm saying? It was I had never seen a team like that. I put,
Yeah.
one of those old school Polaroid throwaway cameras.
Yeah,
I
sure, the
put one of
one-time
those, hey
use.
Priest, I put one of those underneath my back flap, dog, and I started taking pictures of them on during pregame warm-ups, cuz. Hey,
Are
yeah,
you
bro. I was that
serious?
big.
Are
I,
you
I was
se
that big of a fan.
Oh,
That big of a fan, bro. I loved the Miami Hurricanes. They just didn't recruit me for the right
That
position.
is
But
incredible. That's really hilarious.
went there. Loved Penn State, man.
Yeah.
Obviously, I went through some dark years there. We went through some of the most losing years that Penn State's ever had under Coach Paterno. And then obviously we finished it up with an Orange Bowl win, number 3 ranking in the country. I was a Heisman finalist.
Mhm.
That year that I was a Heisman finalist, Reggie Bush won the Heisman. I think he was the most exciting college football player of this generation. I don't think there's anybody close. Sorry about anybody. I don't want to disrespect nobody, but I think just that's how much I think of Reggie Bush. But yeah, I lost to him. So
Yeah.
yeah, I'm all good with that. I'm all
Yeah,
Yeah,
good
yeah.
with that.
Mike,
You
so
know
I
what
And
I'm
got a
what
saying?
that
question
was
for you.
that trip.
What's
There's 2
up?
guys that I played with in Kansas City and, on the team, and I wanted to see how far
Mhm.
removed were these 2 guys, because since we're talking college football, Larry Johnson and Omar Easy. Are those 2 names that's
Huh. So Omar Easy was big homie,
okay,
big homie. He was a senior when I was a
okay.
freshman. Omar Easy had some of the biggest freaking hands I have ever seen in my
Yes.
life. We would do this thing called a 3-minute hang as like a something in the
That's right.
weight
Yep,
room,
like pull up.
and I,
Yeah.
yeah, but you just gotta
Yes.
hang, right? He would switch hands, be hanging with one arm and talking to you, and just be switching throughout the 3 minutes. I've never seen anybody with hand strength like that. Number one, love. Shout out to Omar
Yeah.
Easy. Right now, I think he's the brand director at Penn State for the young athletes. Man, doing a great job. Always was about his business. He's the first guy to like teach me about
Okay.
401k. I mean, in
Oh,
college, teach me
nice.
about 401k,
It's good.
managing my money. He was the first one to kind of put those thoughts in my head. And Larry, you already know I know Larry, man. Me and Larry was roommates for a couple summers. His dad was the D-line coach up at Penn State for a
Yeah.
long time. He's now the D-line coach at Ohio State. And now Larry's probably one of the biggest conspiracy theorists on the internet right now.
Yes.
I love Larry. That's my dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he goes pretty deep
Yeah.
on some of them theories, man. I've checked out a couple of them.
Yeah. He do, man. And I will say this because I don't want to get us in trouble on this pod. Larry, he does the
Gotcha.
research. He does
Yeah,
the research. It ain't just him pulling nothing out his butt. I will say that.
that's good stuff.
Right,
Uh,
right. Nice. All right. Well, you move on from Penn State and you enter the NFL. Um, how much of a game changer was that for you? I mean, obviously that's a goal. You achieved said goal, but
Yeah.
what did it do overall for you in your life, and those close to you, and what did it really mean to you when you were selected and you went into the NFL?
It's funny, man. Priest, I don't know kind of what your dreams was. I know all of our hopes and dreams was to get there, but the way I saw it was I was going in the first round. I was on
yeah.
stage. The commissioner was handing me a jersey, and I got a ball cap on. That's the way I
Okay.
pictured it, right? But it didn't happen nowhere near that. I got this was the year that the first round was on the first 3 rounds was on the first night.
Okay. Yeah, I
Um,
remember that.
and the Pittsburgh Steelers called me. I knew I wasn't going in the first, but they called me in the middle of the second and they said, "Hey, we got 2 second round picks. You're gonna be one of them." So I had a party. I was at Penn State. I bought a truck the night before. Like literally, I went into the Tahoe place and I drove the Tahoe off the showroom floor. I knew for sure I was going in the second or
That's
third
right.
round, bro. I knew for sure I was going in the second or
Yes.
third round. Second round goes by, nothing.
Mhm.
Crickets, nothing. I said, damn, man, okay. All right. Third round go by, phone ring a couple times. Couple people tell me, if this happened, that happened, you're gonna be our guy. Nothing happens. And guys, you already know, Priest, how this go. The night ends. The first night
Uh-huh.
ends.
Mhm.
And you like, oh my goodness, am I gonna even get drafted? Like, you don't even as a young person, you don't even know. You don't. It's like you don't understand the whole process, the whole business. And I remember having one of my old Penn State buddies who had already been through the league or whatever. He said, "Look, man, manage your anxiety. Don't worry about it. You're gonna make and see more money you've ever seen. Don't worry about it. You come from the projects like
Uh-huh.
I do, bro. You ain't gonna trust me. You're gonna see more money than you've ever seen." But I'm like, I want to go in the first. I want to go when I think I'm gonna go. Okay, fast forward. I cried that night, all of that, man. I didn't know if I was gonna pay for my truck. Uh Next day, start of the fourth round, as I'm waking up in the morning, I got like 30 missed
Okay.
calls. And Priest, you know how it is, bro. That next day going into the fourth round, that's like a new draft. It's excitement again. You know what I'm saying? And you know, I was a San Francisco 49ers, and you know, I didn't believe him. I hung up on the GM a couple times, who we're
Okay.
friends now,
Uh-huh.
but I I hung up on the GM a few times, and he said my name, man, and it was I don't know, man. I thought about my mom again. I thought about all the long nights, the single, you know, my mom was a single mom, raising two boys. She worked 2 or 3 jobs. She did everything she could. So I thought about her. So the first thing I did was, Mom, I just want to pay off the house. I watched you work so long to give a bank some money for 30 something years.
Sure.
That's supposed to be a third of your life. You to give a bank? This how damn, I
Yeah,
know it protected us, but for 30
that's right.
years, I just thought that's wow. For you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
first thing I want to do is pay off that, get her out of that little bit of a debt, man. And probably the happiest moment of my life since my, you know, other than my kids being born was seeing my mom get the deed in the mail
Mm.
and her crying with her name on it, and she's just like, "I don't owe nothing no more, like, nothing?"
That's right.
And I'm like, "No, mom, and I got the I'm setting up a vehicle so that the taxes are being paid for. Like, don't worry about it." You know what I'm saying?
Incredible.
And, I mean, she just broke down, man, and it was I mean, I can't even I don't think there's words in the English dictionary to describe that feeling
Yes.
because you know, you truly bringing home the you know, the bacon, you truly taking care of your family, and I didn't want to let my mom down, bruh. I mean, even on the football field, like my mom was always the loudest parent. You know, she may have been cheering or saying the wrong, you know, I might have been on offense. She may have been saying go defense, but she meant offense. She just didn't know. You know what I'm saying? She may have been saying the wrong stuff from time to time, but her energy and her passion kind of was always there. But I mean, whether I was getting hurt on the football field or whether it's, you know, making a certain decision in a certain moment off the field, um, I always just didn't want to let her down. So, you know, even when I got a little banged up at times, it was like, all right, get up because she will walk on this field. I don't want my mom to walk on the field. So get on up and you all right, you be all right. And even off the field, man, you know, I never wanted to disappoint her. So having a strong woman in my life like that, my mom growing up, kind of kept me in the right place.
Yeah, so I'm gonna piggyback off of that. I know you had talked about some of those great things, man, that was done for mom and for the family, and so now today, knowing that you've had those accolades and that Super Bowl accolade as well. Breaking news from Bet365. New customers bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. Sign up, place a bet for $5 and get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. Bonus bets can be used on the spread, player props, futures, and so much more. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365.
Hey, do you have a gambling problem? Call or text 1-800-GAMBLER in Arizona, Colorado, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, North Carolina, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Virginia. Or 1-800-BETS-OFF in Iowa. 21 plus only, 18 plus in Kentucky. Please gamble responsibly. Must be present in Arizona, Colorado, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, Kansas, Kentucky, and select parishes in Louisiana, Maryland, North Carolina, New Jersey, Ohio, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and Virginia. $10 minimum deposit required. Terms and conditions apply. In-app only.
This has been a Playmaker production.